Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you so much for joining us for our Star Wars Unlimited episode. Tonight is episode 55. We're going to be talking a little bit about a couple of new leaders that are being released for Set 5 Legends of the Force. We're also going to be talking about the Lille tournament that just happened recently over in Europe, which is officially now the largest qualifier that has happened with over 800 people showing up to it. Just nuts crazy that many people showed up. And if that's not enough, we're also going to talk a little bit about the rise of Data Vault. We're going to have a slight conversation kind of about some of the numbers behind it. There's a Porg, I think that's how you say it, generated calculator that people, like some group has put together. We'll link in the description. They've done a really good job, and it kind of gives you the ability to look at and calculate out, how often you're going to pull your deck. So I thought it'd be an interesting conversation to have with Alex tonight. Joining me on mic, as always, Alex, the bench warmer, not winning his showdown today. So your bench warmer title officially holds, baby. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I got top 4, just lost to the guy who won Lansing and Chicago PQ,
Yeah,
sorry.
Can you ban him from coming to the Detroit PQ? Can we just say he's not allowed in Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, that DCL Quinlan's hell of a deck. It just goes a little bit too wide for what I was playing, which is also a wonky deck. Security Complex Ray.
Yeah.
It is wild. It's so fun. It's so good.
Yeah, I had a pretty mild weekend. I did not go to a store showdown. I did a lot of I did some gardening this weekend with the wife. We're putting a rather large garden, and we were trying to get our berry bushes in and our grape bushes in, so that way I guess they take like 3 years before you get anything out of them. So that's been a lot of super fun work. But yeah, we figured it was kind of like a fun thing, like to be able to put the berries in and the grapes in, and like she got some of the darker grapes, so somebody's going to be attempting to make some wine here in a couple of years when they fruit.
I got grapevines on my my property on the side because my old neighbor used to have, like, he would do like the leaves, the grape leaves, because he's Mediterranean something. Didn't really talk to him too much, pandemic whatnot. So.
Well, what we'll have to do, I guess I'll have to look up some recipes. Maybe I will use grape leaves too. I like dates with a little bit of like cream cheese or something in them, and then wrapped in the grape leaves and then steamed. Yeah. I like those. Those are good. I don't know like what else you use them for, but like I would probably
Arabic and Mediterranean food have like grape leaves.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that part too. That's kind of the part that I'm a little excited for. And like we planted enough blueberries. Hopefully we'll get to make some like blueberry jam out of it. And I don't know if you've ever had this. We had this place in Grand Rapids. Now we're just tangenting, but we had this place in Grand Rapids. It was like a brewery, but they had like something called the Ziggy Stardust sandwich. And like I was like, all right, like so the wife and I got it, and it's like a grilled cheese, but they use like sharp white cheddar instead of just like regular like cheddar cheese, and you spread like a blueberry jam, a little bit of mustard, and a little bit of something spicy, and then like you could get it with, if you wanted sausage in it, you could have them put sausage in it. We just had it as a grilled cheese, and then they put like I don't know some herbs and spices in it as well. And I was like, I don't know who puts jam in grilled cheese sandwiches, but it was the best grilled cheese sandwiches I've ever had in my life. And we make it like once or twice a year. I'll buy like specifically blueberry jam just to make that sandwich. So good. You could tell we're fat people here because we talk about food all the time. I love grilled cheese sandwiches. So
you need to make like a blinking thing that's just like Tanner tangent time, and just have that on the screen while we're doing it. That'd be
like
funny.
An alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Maybe we'll do that. I got to remake our intro so I can get rid of that stupid. I can get rid of the dumb. We keep getting hit for having. It's not even real music. Like I took it off of a free website and I give them credit for it. So whatever. But anyway, long story short is this weekend was pretty good. Alex made top 4 and with a kind of peculiar deck. I still think the meta is kind of fleshing itself out a little bit. We're going to see a little bit more of what we've seen kind of last week. But I don't know 100% if like I would say the meta is really solved. I still think that there's a lot of room for new things to come in and out. And I think the big question is going to be is like, what's going to replace the other one? The other big thing that we've seen is like, as I mentioned in the intro, there's a rise in Data Vault, right? Like And like, remember, I don't know, Alex, maybe you don't remember, but remember like back at the beginning, I argued that we could probably have 54 cards and it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. And everybody would argue, people argued. And now look at what's the extra 3 health, and people are having an extra 10 cards in their deck. And it's just like, all right, well, now you've got an extra 10 cards. I thought 51 was bad. I thought 54 was bad, but now you got 60 cards.
Yeah, I mean, as long as like it's not like a very focused, like you're trying to do this with this particular combo, or like you need ECL for a very specific thing, like it makes sense that you can go, like you can consider going up to Data Vault.
So we're going to run some math. We'll do a little bit of the math on the calculator today and kind of talk through that, because I think there's some points to kind of be made with it. Like, I think personally, if you've listened to our podcast, you know that we're probably very pro putting more cards in our deck than you absolutely have to. So we've been doing it since set 2. I don't think I've ever had a Pelt deck since set 2 that's ran anything less than 51 cards ever. So like, I've always ran the 51 to 54 card decks. So it's just a thing. But before we get into that, we had some spoilers, and I really want to go through them because we have one that came out this morning, and that must have been like a special release preview. I didn't even watch the stream. Someone just sent it to me. It was like, hey, did you see this? You better pay attention to this one. So we're going to get into our news and spoiler segment right now. All right, welcome to our news and spoilers. We've got Darth Revan officially as a leader, and there's a couple of good things and bad things I think that's going to come out of this, and we're going to actually talk a little bit about these spoilers. I'm pretty hyped to see Darth Revan as a character, because like, he is technically 100% outside of the normal confined bounds of Star Wars. He is a Legends character that they're not bringing in. And I understand that the Legends of the Force, right, is like, that was a conversation piece of, are we going to get Legends characters? And this proves flat out that we're at least getting one. And my belief is we're probably going, maybe not leaders, but I do believe we're going to be getting some more crazy stuff inside of the set at minimum. So Alex, do you want to do Darth Revan or Kenobi tonight?
You can do Darth Revan. You seem pretty happy about that.
All right. We have a villain only, no other color. This is a specific villain card called Darth Revan. He's a Scourge of the Old Republic. He's a Force Sith character. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an experience token to that friendly unit. When he comes out as his leader unit, he is a 5 cost, 3/6 with a Force Sith title still. He gets Restore 1, which I think is kind of cool. Like, that's different. Like, we haven't seen that as much on villains before. So it's a little bit weird. And then he also has basically the same text. When an enemy unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may give an experience token to that friendly unit.
Yeah, when a friendly unit attacks. He's an enemy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, when a friendly unit attacks. So, well, I will say, so the probe thing that I feel I really like about this is the fact that they are going a little bit outside of a comfort zone, and we're getting like a villainous leader, which means I bet you we're going to get a hero only leader. That's my belief. You can
also just have a hero Revan, right? Wasn't that a thing?
Kind of, yeah, yes. That would be weird. That would be weird if they gave us 2 of them in one set. That's weird. But they could, I guess. You're right. They absolutely could. We'll find out this week if they're going to, because a lot of people will speculate on that. But I like the fact that it's a 5 cost. It has a little bit bigger of a body. I would rather have it 7 health personally. But it does say when a friendly unit attacks, so it is friendly to itself. So when it attacks, it could give itself an experience point. But you have to defeat a unit. That's the problem, right? So how long are you going to really live?
Just a bunch of lightsabers on them.
And that's my theory, is kind of what they're gonna, that it's gonna be an interactive thing. I just like the design space though for this card. Like, I actually feel like whether it's gonna be super impactful in the meta, I'm not super sold on that. Like, I do like the fact that it's an instant action, so it doesn't require you to take actions. And we have actually found that that makes the leader a little bit better when you have something like that, because you don't have to. You can be a little bit more aggressive. But it doesn't have overwhelm like Maul does. It doesn't have a high power stat line. but it does have like kind of like the Jango Fett thing, like an infinite thing. So if you have a board state, I mean, just could you imagine if you could generate a bunch of tokens like Vader does, and then you just swing in?
Just play the Clone Wars, give yourself a whole ton of like troopers, and then give them a whole bunch of battle droids. Easy.
Yeah, and then you just swing into them, and you get another damage, and you've cleared their board, and like I don't know. So
just run off aspect Mace Windu and go to town.
You could do that too. So I don't know. Like I think the design space is cool. I'm not going to tell you I think this is like the best card ever, but I do like this is like the Rey thing, but you have to attack a unit and kill it. So this fits into my control bubble a little bit more, I think, than other leaders have.
It is kind of interesting that they took an aspect away, right? Because it's just pure villainy, and then like it seems a little bit weak. So there's probably stuff in this set that makes this like a monster, right? Because this initially seems a little bit iffy.
I would agree. Yeah.
Also, did you notice the little gold bar right at the bottom of the cards? Yeah, the little L, signifying that this is a non-canon character. This is a Legends only character. That's what that means. That's cool, I guess. I guess they probably was like, hey, Disney, let's have a bunch of really cool Legend stuff. And they're like, yeah, let's make a way of differentiating that so people
don't get
know
confused.
that this is wrong and evil.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool looking. I'm happy to see what the hyperspace or the showcase for this will be, because I just want to see what that gold does. That gold accent piece might just actually be really cool looking on it.
Yeah.
Like we don't know, like it might make that leader just collectible, like the showcase collectible, just because of the pure like the little gold insignia thing.
Yeah, it looks like the little gold accent. I like that. It's just it's interesting that they're like, well, we're gonna make it one aspect and then kind of make it slightly underwhelming. I don't know.
Yeah, I there's a theory that has been kind of going around today that people talked about having a double aspect base, which would just like crazy with him. Like
that would be disgusting. Why would you do that? Why would you like, hey, I can play double aspect like Vigilance and also have a fourth color?
Well, no. I apologize. I don't mean like a two blue base. Like it would be
right.
It would
like
be
if it was like a
blue
green. Yeah, and you play like a blue leader like Rey or something, right? And then you just always have a 4-cost Vigilance and then also have the green aspect.
I like that.
That seems really silly. I don't know.
But that's kind of like the discussion point is how do you make this broken? And this also could mean that we're getting a lot of villain cards this set too. Like we traditionally have not gotten a ton of villain cards. But there's a possibility we might be getting a lot of villain cards, or maybe there's something that allows us to play off aspect cards cheaper. And like that would be something that could come out. That would be.
Don't want to play Light Country, Revan?
I kind of actually do, just so you know. Like I do kind of like it. There's just there's not enough removal in it, I don't think, for my taste.
You do a Vulture Droid deck. Why not?
You could. Might be fun.
Those Kanan players are going to be so sad when they, or the Kanan unit when they flip over your base and it's like nothing.
They're like, oh, and you're like, sorry guys, it's the way it is.
Speaking of sorry guys, talking about the next leader.
Yeah, we have an Obi Kenobi again.
Hey, young green Obi.
Yeah,
I guessed Obi. I think I originally had him green, and then I'm like, oh, Luke probably exists, so I shoved him over to blue. So that sucked. Poor call on my behalf. But yeah, we got a green heroic Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's a Force Jedi Republic guy. As an action, you can exhaust him and use the Force to give an experience token to a unit without an experience token on it. And then he flips on 5. He's a 3/6. And then on attack, you can give an experience token to another unit without an experience token on it. Yep.
And it's weird because he has a white lightsaber. And I don't think that's traditionally a lightsaber he ever had.
Not like General's Blade or whatever.
General's Blade, I don't know. I don't know. No.
What white lightsaber? Revans? Like purple?
That's my guess. Is that's what the color is. It's supposed to be purple, but I won't know until we actually get it up close. But like a white lightsaber is traditionally like a cleansed Sith saber. That's traditionally what that is.
That's the thing. Okay.
Yes, that's
Doesn't
why
Ahsoka have like
Ahsoka's,
little white ones?
yes, because after she left the Jedi Order, she cleansed lightsabers. There's a book you should read that you would really like.
I have to be able to read first. But yeah, no, Obi-Wan, he seems a little underwhelming, not gonna lie. But man, there better be some stuff here to like, because he seems okay. If like this was like a set one leader, this would be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, all that kind of stuff, not spreading the force, but like just giving out an experience. He can't give it to himself either, so it's like, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of like, hey, if this unit's upgraded, or if this unit has X amount of power, and you get there by giving an experience token or something, it'll be a lot better. It just seems a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think this is worse than Revan, personally. Like, just looking at it, I was like, this one, I gotta have the force and I gotta spend it. It's like way more conditional. The other one is I'm gonna be attacking units anyway, so that makes sense. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
your buddy Justin's gonna have to get this this showcase here. So
he was very upset about this. This Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan's like one of his favorite characters. So, hopefully there's something else there. We can revisit him later.
Fair enough. All right, let's move on to Qui-Gon Jinn. It is the first legendary that they have revealed for this set. I will tell you the artwork on this is amazing, though. Like, I really genuinely just love this artwork. And
this in hyperspace would be wild.
Like, I am very excited for the artwork on this card. But this is a 7-cost, 7/5 Force Jedi Republic. Qui-Gon Jinn, obviously it's a legendary. He has ambush. When defeated, you may choose a non-leader ground unit. Its owner puts it on the top or bottom of their deck. So essentially you can play him ambush in, and technically my guess is you could take him and put him on top of your deck. That's my assumption, is what they want you to do with him, right? Like, I guess it's kind of like a pseudo control. Like, I don't know why you would want to, because if you tell the opponent they're just going to put their unit back on top of their deck if they want it.
Sure. I mean, it is like putting things like on top of your opponent's deck is generally really good if it goes out in play, because it's like they're forced to draw that next turn, but also those card games are like one card draw, so yeah. It doesn't nearly set them back as much as you'd want, I guess. But it's kind of interesting because, like, if you put Qui-Gon in Qui-Gon's deck, like, ambush out, if you manage to live, you can also like pick that back up and replace it with something like Plo Koon or something, which would be pretty cool, or like another 6-cost, and just kind of daisy chain it a little bit down.
Yes. Yep. I would say that's probably one of the main uses. I would say we weren't like super high on the Ahsoka unit 2 at first, and like that actually has quite a bit of value. And this could be the same thing too. This could actually have quite a bit of value. You could take care of 2 units from your opponent in a turn and kind of just like blockade and stop them up. So like if you have like kind of an even board, you can then ambush them in, kill something big of theirs, and then turn around and take one of their units, maybe like a Sentinel, on the other side in the space arena, or I don't know, like maybe they have a mall out or something, and then they like it's no longer gone, it's just gone, right? And so I don't know, I like it in theory. I just am not 100% sold this is amazing. Personally, I do like getting another 7
ambush is really high.
Yeah, I like that because it's a little bit more than like the Han Solos, but like, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, still Han Solo doesn't die.
I mean, you can also like pop your own unit back on top of your deck, right? Like if it's like a home 1 or something, you wouldn't mind putting that back on top of your deck. If you already swung with it or something, play another unit out of it. I don't know, thinking of kind of edge cases, or like a Luke, you throw that back on top of your deck if it's out or something.
You know who's really gonna like this card though?
Yoda.
Yep. It's Yoda. Yoda's gonna like this card, man. Like, holy crap. Like, I don't think I don't know if they thought about that, but like this like makes Yoda like pretty damn like really good. Like, just
like a deck with like C-3PO, at least you know what's on top of your deck, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Yoda, like, that's Yoda's flip turn.
Yep. You can ambush it in, put it back on top of the deck, flip Yoda, kill something else. You can kill 2 like high powered units. I don't know. Like, seems pretty good to me. But
yeah, we'll see.
All right. What's the next one?
Ah, my boy Grogu is a 3-cost pure hero unit. It is a 1/6 with the Force trait. It also has the hidden keyword, and as an action, you can exhaust it and heal up to 2 damage from a unit. And if you do, you deal that much damage to a unit. So it's like it binds all things on a body, which is really cool. I like this card a lot. I'm not sure where I'd put it, but it's cool. It's a 1/6. It's hidden, so it probably lives because it'd be really hard to take out if you can't attack at the turn of. And it's got 6 health, so it's not like you could take it down or something. But he's fine. He's cool. I like moving damage around. That's always been a fun thing for me. You put it in Ray, it becomes like a 3/8 eventually, right?
Yeah, and it is if it is just the heroic aspect too. So like it can go in every hero deck. Period.
Yep. And this is the prestige card version of it, which they mentioned. And it looks pretty cool. It looks nice, I guess. I'm sure that's like probably a scene from the TV show or something.
Yeah, I mean that little ball thing is the thing that he was obsessed with in Mando's vehicle. So there you go.
Sure.
So I don't know. I don't know how much I like this card like as an insane card, but I do like that fact that it's like a tricky card. I don't play a lot of hero though either. So there you go. Like the problem is like would I include this in a villain deck? I always think about those things. Would I put this in a villain deck? Am I willing to pay 5 for this? I don't think so. But I don't know. I think it's a decent like replacement for the other Grogu. And I do think that we'll see play because there's going to be some other like shenanigans that you're going to be able to get into with the fact that like you'll be able to put a lightsaber on him. Like you mentioned with Ray can give him experience. I mean, he probably works with Obi-Wan as well. Like there's a couple of other things that you can do with it.
And worst comes to worst, he's a 3-cost Force unit, but also that statement might be a little bit more meaningless once the set drops because I'm sure there'll be really cheap Force units. It's kind of a shtick, right?
Yeah. Well, the last card,
legendary.
It is a legendary, and like I think I don't know. That's why I'm not as sold on it, but I don't know. Like we have a lot of really good cards so far. So, all right, the last one we have is As I Have Foreseen. A nice little Pelp sitting there, controlling his armada in the background,
watching all the ships go to him.
Yeah. So this is a 1-cost yellow villain, which again they just love to give yellow villain
so
everything. Yeah. Look at the top card of your deck. You may use the Force. If you do play that card, that costs 4 less, so it's a 3-cost reduction. Seems pretty good to me. like oh no,
yeah.
Oh, we got rid of TDR, so I guess at least it's only 1 card, right? Like instead of searching for 7 to find what you want, but still, like that seems pretty.
Yeah, paying 3 less is pretty impressive. Also, heaven forbid you played like Inferno 4 earlier that turn, or Inferno 4 died, and you could just stack the top 2 cards of your decks. You know where you're gonna play.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Yep.
Or
definitely
something spins it back, or like deck manipulation kind of thing. Paying 3 less is not usually what you see, because I think the only one that was like 3 less was they hate that ship, right? And that just gives your opponent 2 readied TIE fighters.
Yep, and it has to be a ship only, and it has to be in your hand.
Right.
Oh, so I guess this one you still don't know. Like who likes this?
Drawback is you don't know the top card of your deck.
Unless you're playing Thrawn, baby. Here we go.
Yeah, that too. There's Thrawn, yellow, first set Thrawn.
Yep. I got that showcase too. I'm super excited for it. I'm gonna
just play your Avenger for 6. What's the worst that can happen?
Yep. Maybe Thrawn will be good this set. I don't know. That'll be amazing if set 1 Thrawn like actually has viability all of a sudden.
You could probably do like a set 1 Force Thrawn deck. Why not? Sure, do it.
Yep.
Exhausting things is fun.
Exhausting things is fun. Playing things for super cheap is fun. Like, I mean, yeah. And so the question is, okay, so I have a question. So if you put Luke in the deck, because the cost would technically be in a villain deck, the cost would technically be like 9, right?
Right.
Or so this is not saying it's going to cost 4 less off the normal card cost. It's not like
Correct.
A tech.
It's
not like the tech thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm happy for that. Like, do not. It's not like the TDR did not do that.
Yeah, you can play Qui-Gon Jinn for 6.
Yeah, which I don't. Whatever. I'm not going to care about that.
And then you can put something back on top of your deck and then play As I Foreseen after it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. It is a rare as well. That is something to note.
Yeah,
But
so
I bet that hyperspace is gorgeous.
I bet it is too, and I bet you I'm gonna go for maybe a full collection of hyperspace foils of those cards. So hopefully they're cheap enough. All right. Well, that was all the spoilers that we have. Like I said, I don't know how we're gonna do spoiler season. I know we're gonna always cover the leaders, and I think we might just choose a few of the cards as they come out. Like, I don't think we're gonna cover every card this set. I don't know. Maybe they'll be so exciting I'll want to. But I think what we'll do is we'll just let JJ and Alex vote, and we'll just say you guys pick like a couple of cards that you really like, and then we'll always cover the leaders.
JJ is going to choose some sort of obscure thing from an index of a book that he found back in the 1980s that had Star Wars on the title.
That's fine, I guess. I mean, like I like learning the lore. I think that's
man. It's Miranda Donnie. How can we not cover it?
Yeah, I don't know who Miranda is, so I know who she is in X-Wing, but
I think she was in a book for a couple pages.
Yeah. I don't know. So it's fun. Spoiler season's obviously up and rolling. So over the next month, we'll probably get quite a few more spoilers, and stuff like that. So I want to move on a little bit. Before we get into the tournaments, we are gonna talk a little bit about the calculator, right? Like we're gonna talk a little bit about Data Vault. And the reason I say this is because the last large tournament, Sabine switched to Data Vault and then took the whole thing down. So what that tells me is a couple of things, right? Is it tells me that like 3 health, extra health, plus the extra cards might be worth it now that we have a card pool, right? And so like the things I want to talk about is now that we have a bigger card pool, does this feel okay? Because traditionally Sabine would not do this. Like traditionally Sabine, if Sabine could get away with less cards in a deck, that's what Sabine usually likes. Like if there was a green base that was 25 health that said reduce your deck size by 15, I think Sabine might like that. Right, because then she's going to
thermal oscillator.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, like you'd be able to get through your deck super fast. So I wanted to have that conversation just because I think that's come up in the past, and people we've advocated that we don't believe you have to specifically only include 50 cards to be successful. And I think that yes, there's certain cards that you just have to see more in certain styles of decks, but I think now we're getting to the point with almost 5 sets in, like that base actually could be like the new ECL type thing, right? Because you're going to be able to put more tools in. But either way, let's talk a little bit about, is Data Vault math worth the extra 3 health? All right, so as you can see, I got the Data Vault up. There was a nice organization called the Porgs, I think is what it's called, the Porg Network or something like that, and they have like a calculator they put together.
Porg Depot.
There you go, Porg Depot. Thank you so much. Like, and they're the guy, I met the guy before. He's a really nice guy. But so they have this. They have it, and I'll throw a link into the description for you all. But they have like a calculator, so we can actually kind of go through this and like calculate out, the decks and stuff like that, right? And so as you can see on screen here, this essentially is a hyper geometric calculator, right? And Alex, my guess is Alex probably knows exactly what that is.
Yeah, they used it a lot for like Magic, and that's the only reason why I've heard of it. Not that I played Magic, they've always talked about the hyper geometric stuff, and I use that to calculate certain things occasionally. It's like, well, I'm now running like a 53, 54 card deck. How much do I really want, kind of thing. So those are useful.
Yes. And it does make a big note in here that the calculations are you're drawing 2 cards per turn, and that it does not factor in ramp cards, right? And I think that's a valid thing. Like I don't care as much about the ramp cards, but like essentially the number of cards in your deck, you need to know what is my first turn plays, what are my, if I have 25 cards that I can pull. And I think that kind of like that brings the question of, we play a trench deck, right, with 54 cards in it. And like the question now becomes is, okay, well, if one set of removal is almost like another set of removal, does it matter, right? Like that's a big thing, because I think that's, the question a lot of people have on their minds is what happens when you just flood my deck. So Data Vault says you get 3 extra health, but you're going to run 60 cards. So I think you put in here, right, 60 cards.
Yeah, I mean, like this one is more like specifically. I mean, it will tell you, the number of instances for like pulling a first turn play if you want. But if you do something like, hey, I'm running a Ray Data Vault deck, right? I'm looking for Han Solo, and then I just want one, and then by like turn 6, what's my odds? Turns out it's 61%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like this one's a little bit more beyond like a normal hypergeometric that I've seen, where it's like, hey, your chance to draw this card by the turn you can play it costs this, which is why it's like doesn't factor in ramp.
Yeah. So here we have the target card is 3, right? We only care about 1. Here's your thing, calculate it out. In your starting hand, you have 25% chance. That's actually pretty good. Chance. And then it goes up to 27%. And then chance to draw 1 or more, including mulligans, is 47%. And then here's Alex is saying you have a 61% chance of drawing that card by turn 6.
By the time you can play it, yeah.
Yes.
Like for Luke, for example, right? Or you can do it's like, hey, I have Data Vault. I have, 15 first turn plays. I want at least 1. Calculate whatever you want, chance to draw 1 or more, including a mulligan's like a 98% chance, right? Like it's fun.
Yeah. So here we would say, okay, so here we have, if I had a 60 card deck and I have 15 turn 1 plays, right? So that's okay. What 12 and 50 cards is the normal, right? That's correct.
12. Yeah, like 11, 12 is what you typically would see. So.
All right, so then times 60 would be 13 and a half. So 15 is like high. So if you have, right. If I want to draw two cards in my opening hand that are turn 1 plays, and I have 15 turn 1 plays, and the cost is 2, essentially I have an 83.73% chance, right? Now, let's say we have 50 cards. That goes up to 89%. So it's actually you are gaining what? That's like 6% you're gaining. So you do gain a 6% chance. But the question then becomes is like if Data Vault allows for you to have multiple cards. So like, and I'm going to pick on Vader. It just, not that I can run Vader Data Vault with yellow, but I'm going to pick on Vader just because like I increase my turn 1 plays to deal with freaking Quinlans, because I need things that Quinlan can't kill both of the ships, and it's going to kind of be the same thing with ECL. I need something where ECL doesn't just like wipes everything off the board. So I want to be able to put 2 cards down to churn for turn 1, right? And so that's kind of that's where the math is. So if we go to 54 cards, right, and we have turn 3 cards, our trench deck, and our turn 3 cards is what? 15, 14?
I don't know.
I want to say 14 because we don't consider turn 1 anything. So
yeah, we have 3 turn 1 plays, and that's if we happen to draw the Pershing. So it's like whatever.
Yeah. So if I have 54 cards and I have a starting hand of 5 and I have 14, we'll call it turn 2 plays, right? Because it's for our trench deck. The number of successful targets, I still want to have 2 of them, and the cost is 3. I still have an 90% chance of hitting those. So if all of my costs, my 3 costs are removals of some sort, I have almost a 90% chance of being able to remove your turn 1 play. Yep. Like that's crazy. Now, if you have 2 of them, it's a little bit different, right? That's where the math gets wonky. We can't calculate that.
Did you decrease your starting hand to 5 though? That actually affects the odds. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. If you had it at 6, it's even higher. If you put it at 6, by the way, it's like a 92%. Yeah. But so I think that the interesting thing is now you're saying I'm going to have 60 cards. So if I ran trench with Data Vault, let's just pretend it's blue for whatever reason. And I were to run 64 cards, I still have the 87% chance. So at 54 versus, not 600, 54 with 5 cards is an 89. It goes down less than 2%. So I think that kind of like this right here kind of demonstrates that as our pools grow, if you have cards that do similar style things, like if your deck is trying to only play Lukes or only play Hans, you're probably out of luck.
Right, because those are very like focus things. If you're just like, I don't care if I have a Merciless Contest or a Power of the Dark Side. I just want one of those in my hand. Calculate this out for me. Or like, I don't really care if I have Vanquish or No Glory. It's really easy for Blue Villainy because there are a lot of cards that just do the same. But functionally, hey, do I want Syndicate Lackeys or Bosk, or whatever you're trying to do? The stats are a little bit different, but what's real fun though is if we calculate my stuff for the Kylo deck that I did. It says I have 100% chance of drawing that, and that didn't happen to me twice in one tournament.
Well, then the statistics failed you, Alex.
Every day. 50 cards in deck, 35 first turn plays. Mulligan, still nothing, happened twice in the same day.
That's
99.97% chance of getting a first turn play in my hand. Love it. I love breaking calculators. With bad luck.
It's like your dice luck. That's what this is. Like you better hope you fly your ships better in X-wing than your opponent. So
I can tell you, like the dice calculator for X-wing doesn't go as far down as what happened to me.
So I don't know. So like that's kind of I don't have a ton for this segment. I just think that it's an interesting conversation, and I think if we look at the math, you're looking at 3 to 4%. Like in an aggro deck, is 3 to 4% like good? Is the extra health really worth that 3 to 4%? And what I would tell you is that I don't know if the extra 3 health is what you're actually like banking on, right? I almost believe for the most part it's the fact that you get 10 extra cards, which gives you can run 3 different types of cards and have 3 different multiples of that card, and the probability of getting them is negligible. And I think that's the case. Like as soon as we get, like again, Invader, if I have 10 tap cards, I don't care which tap card I get. I just want to tap you down. That's all I care. In Sabine, if I have to have a Cassian or I have to have a Sabine
or Darksaber
like
a more realistic thing, it's like I need this Darksaber. What's the percentage of me drawing it by the time I get it?
And it's going to be a lot lower. So if your deck isn't like basing it on that, like I think the fact that you could take 3 extra units or upgrades or whatever that equal something like that, I think it creates the health is just a bonus at that point. And it does, like, what does this do? This tells us that the people that were sitting here yelling at us, telling us, oh, you can only play 50 cards, are not correct. It's only 50 cards back in the day because everything was unoptimal. Now we have a lot of optimal cards, and it's kind of choose your flavor. I've been playing Boss Data Vault, by the way, and like not like a high-end version where all you do is ramp. I'm playing a little bit lower version, but I can still include 12 ramp cards because it doesn't matter. Like it's just inconsequential, like the ramp card piece of it, because of the fact that, by the way, you're getting so much value out of the fact that I can have all these other churn plays. I don't need the ramp. I'm playing lower the ground boss is what I'm doing. So I don't know. I guess to me, this proves what you and I've been saying for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now. Like that it's not a you can only run this. It's a, do you have cards that equal the value of what you want? Which makes me feel so much better about all our Palpatine decks that we've never ran 50 cards in since set 1.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have like I really like the, hey, what's your chance to draw this by the first time you can play the card? I like that a lot, that calculation.
Yes.
Also, if you're running Data Vault Sabine and you have 3 Darksabers, your chance of getting it by the time you need to play it's a 42% chance. So consider that if you're trying to go that route.
Yeah, and if you add General's Blade in there, you've just increased it even more.
Yeah, if you want the General's Blade, that bumps it up to a 68% chance because it doubles it or whatever. So seems not bad.
Yeah, seems pretty good. So anyway, that was that. I just want to have a short discussion on Data Vault because I think that like we're seeing it tick up, and that's going to be a question people have. And if you're newer to the game, I mean, that's kind of like what we like to do. Is if you're newer to the game, this is something that is kind of fun, a little bit cool. Take the calculator, use it to your advantage, but don't feel bad if you want to run a few extra cards. So don't let the naysayers tell you not to, because we're seeing Data Vault being successful. Now, way too much actually, almost. So. But all right, well, that was fun. I think let's move on. We're going to talk a little bit about the meta tonight. So we have a couple of different pieces. We're going to talk about just the overall meta. There was, I think, like 20 PQs this weekend happening. Yeah, and we're not going to go over every one of them in any way, shape, or form, but we are going to just say, here's the, like this is what it is, and here's kind of what the results are pointing towards. There was also, by the way, a 5-person qualifier. So yeah. So if you played in that 5-person qualifier, congrats on your day 1 buy. Like, I would love to have that happen. That would be like the best thing ever.
Happened? How's that even a thing?
No idea. There was also one that was like 15-person as well, and an 11-person one.
Was this like Alaska?
No, one was
doing it in the Arctic Circle somewhere.
One was Taiwan. So there you go. Like that's probably part of it. There must not be a big scene in Taiwan. But like the Italy one was surprising. The England one was surprising. Like,
yeah, you'd think that would be pretty big.
Other than they are on the same weekend that the regional was, so that might be part of the issue too.
Yeah.
So all right, let's get into our Chaos of War and talk a little bit about statistics. All right, so as you can see here, here's the website. If you don't know what SWU Competitive Hub is, the link's in the description for the tournaments we're going to cover tonight. But this kind of gives you the breakdown. So, like as you can see here, there was a ton of PQs this weekend. A lot of Data Vault winning, by the way. So that's why I want to do the Data Vault segment. Here's all these Kiras winning data with Data Vault, and so I think we're going to see an uptick in Kira, but this shows you that you can run Data Vault in more than one deck, right? It's very useful. Like the Yoda Data Vault seems very logical too, because Yoda can just mill through his deck as he needs to. But so this is kind of all the different showdowns that happen. What we wanted to do is kind of cover the analysis of it. So right now, Kira, after the Django ban, is on top. There's been over 10 events, 1,900 people. So this is not taking into account absolutely everything yet. The calculations are still rolling in. But as of now, Kira is on top with 4 wins, which is crazy. Like that I did not expect. I would have expected Sabine to be a little bit higher. For top 8s, though, Sabine obviously shows up more in the top 8. Kira is kind of the second one. Quinlan, Cad, Han, Anakin, Bosk, and then there's our buddy Yoda. Look at that. Yoda still making a presence and a showing for it. So Alex, is there anything in either of these statistics that kind of like strike out for you?
Guys, it's really not that hard to play around Kira, right? I mean, Kira's solid and all that stuff. I just fine. I'm all about blue and I'm all about green villainy, so I could respect it. It's just like a little bit surprising to me, I guess, that just won like 4 events over the past weeks or something like that.
Yeah,
4 out of 10 was Kira. Okay, wild. Yeah,
so I think that a lot of that does. I don't know. I think it makes sense because I think Kira is one of the better leaders. Especially
I like
with
Kira, but
Django being gone. So, but yeah. So this I think this still shows us that there's quite a bit of variety. Yoda sneaking into that top there is pretty cool. Yoda only taking down 1 is whatever, but Yoda sneaking into the top, I like that a lot. I think that's kind of neat to see, that we're getting a little bit more diversity in the meta than what we originally had. So now if we move on to the regional that happened this weekend, as you can see, it was taken down by Sabine Data Vault, not ECL Sabine Data Vault. We will cover this list. We are 100% going to cover this list because I think that this is going to be, people are going to see this and think about switching to it. I do think it breaks down your list building differences. Like we'll see that here in a few minutes. But that took it over top of Anakin. We also had a Quinlan Tarkentown, a Sabine ECL, a second Anakin Blue, and then we had a Rey Data Vault. So like there you go. Like there's that Data Vault again coming back. A Sabine, another ECL,
card Rey,
and then a Kira Data Vault as well. So we're going to cover not every single list, but what I did is I picked, we're going to obviously cover the top 2 lists, and then we're definitely going to cover that Rey list because I really want to go over that Rey list. But some of these other lists, like they don't have a lot of differences between them, so I didn't feel the need to go through all the top 8. I do, though, have some other cool lists that I pulled, and one comes with a friendly little neighborhood spider that made 69. So we're going to cover that one as well.
Nice.
All right, so Alex, I'll let you take. Well, you want to take the Sabine Data Vault?
Sure, why not? Yeah, so first place in Lille here in France. Sabine Data Vault. Haven't seen this before, so that's really exciting and really cool. So you got triple Rebel Assault, triple Timely Reinforcements, Timely Intervention, triple Battlefield Marine, triple Frisk. That's the one that dumps an upgrade that when you dump an upgrade that costs 2 or less when you attach them as a unit or upgrade. Triple Green Squadron A-Wing, triple Ketsu, triple the Phoenix Squadron A-Wing, triple Sabine, triple Blue Leader, triple Cassian, triple Fighters for Freedom, triple Red 5, triple Sindari Peacekeepers, triple For a Cause, which works with, I think, everything that's not timely. So you'll probably hit that. You can get the port calculator if you want to see the exact amounts. Triple K2 SO, triple Adelphi, triple of the Red Poe, triple Senatorial Corvette. I love those ships, by the way. 5/4 Saboteur, when they die, your opponent discards a card.
Yep.
Triple Wrecker, and then triple Radis, which is interesting. So I had 8/6 for 7, which is pretty big, but like it gets Sentinel if you have Poe out. I think that's the only unit that it triggers off of. So you're not using it for the Sentinel so much as this is a giant 8/6, and when it dies, it deals 8 damage to a unit.
Mm-hmm.
And on the sideboard, you have triple Disabling Fangfighter, triple Cham, 1 Bombing Run, which is wild to say in the Sabine deck, and then triple Crate Dragon.
Yep.
Yeah, you might as well, right?
Because you're probably you could go a little bit later in your game, because technically you've got almost an extra 10 health, right? You got an extra 8 health that you normally wouldn't have in Sabine. So, also, notice there's no Dark Sabers. Yep. There's no Wing Leader. There's 0 Wing Leaders, 0 Dark Sabers, no Fleet Lieutenants. Yeah.
Yep, but they have the Rebel Assaults, and they still have Poes and Wreckers, despite the only way of like ambushing them out being Timelies. Yes,
and I think that kind of goes to like the fact that this deck is going to probably be more of a tempo-ish like Sabine deck than like the aggro, because you don't have the ECL. That Frisk is genius though, by the way. Like you could play your turn 1 play, and then play Frisk on one of your ships, and then like you could strip something like almost instantly, right? You know, like if anybody has just like an experience token or a shield.
2 or less.
Yep.
Yeah, I had Frisk in my red Poe deck, and he could do some work. Like it's very good into like Bosk because you can just strip the bounties.
Yep. And my assumption is that's probably what it's there for more than anything else, is just the bounties from there. But I will say, I mean, it is nice to be able to strip like an experience token or a shield from, you know, like Anakin's what's that village protectors, right? You know, like,
yeah, let's not do that.
Like just let's take the village protectors, and then it doesn't matter what you swing into those things with, you're gonna live. So
yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, he's a 3/2.
Yeah,
which isn't too bad.
Yeah,
because all the ground units have 3 attack, with the exception of Sabine, who can get 3 attack if need be, which is really cool.
Yeah, and my assumption with this one is all those Timelies, you just resource those damn things. I mean, you don't need to keep them in your hand. I am a little questioning on the Crate Dragons, but I guess, you know, like I guess if you have to face if you're facing a whatchamacallit, a like control deck, they just work out super well.
Yeah.
And obviously those Fang Fighters are in there for Sabine ECL mirrors, where you have to strip the stupid Dark Sabers off them. This guy did very well. I like this deck better. Like if I were to play a Sabine deck, this is what I would play 100%. I would not play that other one, but I would play this one. And the one-off bombing run, I have no idea why they have that in there, other than for the Vaders, I guess. But you're only going to get one of those cards, and like, should we go back and do the calculations of 1 in 60? You know, like,
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited to see Sabine branching out a little bit more. I'm not super excited if this becomes the thing, outside of the fact that my Vader will love this because I don't care about the little bit of extra health, but now you can't like ambush things into me as easily. So,
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the second. The runner-up was an Anakin Blue. That one had 2 of the old school R2D2 from set 1, 3 Force Throw, 3 C3PO, 3 Queels, 3 of the restored arcs, 3 Cassians, 3 Concord Dawns, 3 Fangs, 3 of those are the outer rim operatives.
The outer rim outlaws. Those are the 3/3 shielded units that are very good in a Anakin deck because you use Anakin's ability and they swing for 5 and they have a shield.
Yep. 3 of the Village Protectors, 3 Yodas, 2 Paralyses, 2 Kanans. Sad to see there's only 2 Kanans in this deck. 3 Fell the Dragons, 3 Pillage. They love their Pillage. 2 Takedown, 3 Pose, 1 Rivals, and 3 Lukes. Your sideboard is a one-off, open fire, 3 Blue Leaders, 3 Stellas, 1 Redemption, and 2 Crate Dragons. I feel like you dump the open fire and you should be running 2 Redemptions. I do not understand the logic in only 1 redemption.
They decided not to go with any Chams anywhere because I really liked the Chams in the Anakin deck. I mean, if you're running Rams, cool, but it's mostly because it swings for 7. And it'll one-shot things like Quinlan and Live, actually, which is hilarious. Just got 4 health, so...
Yeah, and I don't like the Pillage, but I understand why they do that. I hate that card, so...
I'm a little bit surprised they're main decking 3. Usually, if you see them main decked at all, it'd be like 2. But that was like last set. Like I haven't seen triple main deck Pillage in a while.
I ran into it when I was playing Trench this weekend online.
I'm sorry.
I was like, oh, all right, thanks, guys. All right, I have no cards in hand. Cool. So I know it's a little bit different Anakin deck, but for the most part, it's similar to what we've seen. It's running a little bit of the Rebel synergy or the R2D2 C3PO Rebel synergy pieces to help you draw, along with Queel. Queel hits the majority of these, right? You're probably resourcing your Cassians, so you know. Yeah. And if you have R2D2 or if you have C3PO and Queel down, you can just look at it with R2D2 and then like know whether you're gonna play it with Queel, and kind of cool. I like that combo. All right, so let's go over the Ray deck, Alex. This is a Ray Data Vault. We have not seen Ray Green do super well this set, so kind of exciting to see this. People
very much so
trying to do like that hero green, right? That blue hero green, and this one seems to do very well. They made 6, so
I know they've been grinding out this deck for a while. It's like 62 card Data Vault Ray deck. Love it. So you have double Alliance Dispatcher, triple Clone Deserter, triple of the not pilot R2D2, triple C3PO, triple Mon Mothma, double Spark of Hope, triple Entrenched. So funny when you just like pump up some things with a Ray and then slap an Entrenched on it. Triple Akbar, triple Blue Leader, triple Fleet Lieutenant, triple Sindari, triple Tech, triple Village Protectors, double Yoda, triple Resupply, double Bright Hope, triple Foul the Dragon, triple Takedown, triple Traitorous, triple Luke, triple U-Wing, and triple Home 1. In the side, you have 2 Reinforcement Walkers, 2 Rivals Fall, a Captain Rex, double Restock, and double Salvage. The Captain Rexes. I don't exactly know why.
I don't either. I'm confused what you would use it for.
You could pump up the Clone Troopers. Because nothing like very specifically requires coordinate at all, right? So it seems a little bit weird. But, I mean, I didn't make 6th at like an 800-person tournament or whatever. How many people were at this one? So
yeah, over 800.
Yeah, wild. So good.
Yeah, the Captain Rex I'm not sold on. I'll agree with you on that one. I like the walkers. That's somebody that obviously has played villain before. So
yeah, the walkers are really good. The triple rivals too inside, just in case, those are really cool. Normally you see maybe a couple in the main deck and none in the side deck. but just triple rivals. The restocks you appreciate. As a trench player, trying to build them out a little bit harder to do.
Yeah, I think this would give Trench a run for his money. 100%.
This would be really, really annoying if I'm running the Trench deck. Especially because you could throw one restock down and then smuggle out tech and smuggle out the restock so I can never hit it.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, like, congratulations. I love it. 62 cards, too. Just maximum disrespect. I love it. It's so fun.
It's hilarious. And there is no Concord Dawn Interceptors in here either. Like, not even in the sideboard. I guess you just don't need them.
Just need 2 Bright Hopes as your only Space Sentinels.
Yeah.
And you got Blue Leader. You can always also entrench your Bright Hope, which is really funny. But yeah, the space seems a little bit weak. But you probably have enough, like, between, like, Akbar and, some stuff to either put pressure that, like, their space race is losing, or you got enough restore because of your array, and you got clone deserters, and also Akbar again, actually, and, like, Yoda to help restore. Cindaris. Yeah.
It's a cool deck. I agree with you, though. I would probably have a little bit more space presence in this thing. Like some restored arcs.
Or at least in the sideboard. I mean, like the double salvage. I'm sure you're bringing back home ones, Bright Hopes. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Blue Leader is enough to like deal with space. Maybe their meta doesn't have a lot of space.
I don't know. Like it's just like it worries me about the Chewies, right, and the stuff like that. Like I don't know how that deck has a harder time, I think, dealing with like a Chewy unit than other decks are going to. Because what if you can't kill it? You can't fell it. You can't take down it. Like you don't have any perilous positions. All you have is 3 entrenched. You better hope you hit your entrenched out of that. I don't know. I would think that needs to be something addressed a little bit. But okay, I'm going to disagree with you on salvage and tell you that I actually love that in this deck, especially because like it's cheap.
I agree. That's what
helps
I'm saying.
return.
It's weird that there's not enough space units, and then you're just like, well, you can salvage some.
Yeah, like I think like I would actually consider salvage main deck over that Spark of Hope personally. Like I probably would just dump Spark of Hope if it were me. But that's just me. I don't care as much about ramping, I guess, as they do. But I like the salvage. I played that in my sideboard for Vader, and it was like super amazing. Like it's just such a good card for 0 cost. Like it's so good against people throwing force throw. So all right. The next one I want to talk about is a Kazuto red thermal oscillator Kazuto. This is that crazy this would be like that crazy deck, except for they don't have the 5 cost bomber in there, right? Like they've got trench runs, they don't got that bomber in there. Where's the bomber? Like, where's my bomber? Where's my resistance bomber here? This is like the lowest to the ground Kaz deck I think that we've seen.
It's pretty similar to that one that my locals is actually running, like very, very similar. So I can respect it.
And so this one has 2 BB-8s, 3 Cartel Turncoats, 3 Wolf Packs, 3 of the Heroic Sacrifice, 3 Trench Runs, 3 Anakin's Interceptor, 3 Pose, Black 1, 3 Fireballs, 3 Sabines, 2 Bamboozle, 3 of the Cassians, 3 of the Old School Ready Falcon, 3 AT Haulers, 3 of the For a Cause, 2 Spare the Targets, and 3 Han Solos. In the sideboard, you have Jam Communication, 2 of the contracted Bounty Hunters, 3 of the Fang Fighters, 1 more Spare the Target, and 2 Commandeer, just in case you get that far, I guess.
I mean, I run Obi-Wan's Aether's Rights, right? And I mean, like, and I played against someone. They just commandeered it, and I was like, that's just not fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because they just racked me with it after that.
So nothing like super spicy in this list. I do like this list actually quite a bit. Like this is different than my Kaz list. My Kaz list is got a little bit more higher in units. But essentially this has to be like an ultra aggro deck, right? That allows you to be able to bounce certain things that you need to bounce when you need to bounce them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just do a ton of aggro stuff really fast. Between the trench runs and then like Han Solo getting the Falcon swinging and Kaz can shut off abilities, so like you get a lot of damage out.
Yeah, and main board, you literally will hit your for a cause all but those AT haulers. Like it hits for every other card on this deck.
Yeah.
It's like an auto
And
4
Falcon.
damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the Falcon and the haulers, but like, you know, the
Falcon.
what is that?
The Falcon
other...
it hits.
Isn't it? No, it's fighters, right? Yeah, and Falcons are transports.
No. I'm sorry. The for a cause.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry, I thought you said Trench Run.
No. Trench Run. You're right. Trench Run does not hit that. Trench Run hits all the other
cause
ones.
hits everything that's not the AT holders, and you're totally fine with that.
Yeah, I like the Trench Runs too in here. I think that's kind of cool. The heroic sacrifices always make me like a little hesitant, but I understand like if you're just trying to go for maximum damage, there you go. Like, and you get to draw a card out of it. So essentially, you're paying 1 to do the extra damage and trade your unit. And like, I don't know, like sometimes I have seen where they'll put like a fireball down and not be able to like do their little action thing because they'll need to claim initiative, and then their fireball will be on 1 health, and you just for a heroic sacrifice your fireball and play a second one, you know? So. All right. The next one I wanted to go over is we had seen Iden Yellow become a thing in the past. A little sad that this is not a trench deck, right? But we do have an Iden Yellow that made 17th. And this does kind of like show that like this is a possibility, you know, to be able to make things up. So Alex, I want to go over this deck because this one is a little bit different than what we had seen before. It's not obviously the identical deck, but I think it's a shame they're only wanting 1 main deck annihilator. Like, just run 2. Come on.
Yeah, I like this deck a lot. So, Iden Yellow. It's toying around with like things that I was considering putting into the trench deck, which I find it very fascinating. It's got double bounty posting, which is find bounties. Find a bounty from your deck, reveal it, draw it, and then you can play it. So there's 2 other 3-copy bounties in there, so you're at most paying 2 for them. Yeah, you got double bounty posting, 1 restock, triple enticing reward. That's the bounty that lets you search for 2 non-units cards. Triple tap target, triple Bazine, triple Pershing, double no good to me, triple entrenched, triple merciless contest, triple power of the dark side, triple frozen carbonite, triple takedown, triple vigilance, triple no glory, triple bounty hunter crew, double Snoke, triple super laser blast, triple avenger, and 1 annihilator. In the side, you have a 2nd restock, 2 of the Sedan. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. The guy that's you can go into your opponent's pilots and give him -2/-2. Double perilous position, 1 change of heart, double clan Saxon gauntlet, which I'm sure is just the worst thing for you to play if you're playing Vader. 1 evacuate and a 2nd annihilator.
Yeah, if they play that, you just concede.
Yeah, unless you got the clone guy out.
Yeah,
clone squadron.
Or unless you have unless you put Vader on the ground because you only need another 5 or 6 damage, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But I like this deck. I very much heavily considered enticing rewards and bounty postings into the trench deck, especially with the triple restock to help shuffle the board more. This is a more normal human version of that deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it. Like it's just hard control, but also you have a little bit of an end game between Snoke, Annihilators, and Avengers.
Yeah, a little bit more of an end game, but I mean, like, well, Trench is an end game too, but you know, I don't like this. I don't know if I like those Clan Saxons in the sideboard. I guess that's an okay call. It's probably like a meta call, like, but usually like this, like our Trench deck will lose to like super go wide decks, and I guess if the super go wide deck's a space deck, then I guess the Clan Saxon just stops them because they're not going to be able to kill it as easily.
Yeah, our solution was just evacuate.
Yeah.
There's this Clan Saxon Gauntlet, which makes sense. I think Evacuate's a little bit more versatile. It's a shame they're only running 1 in the sideboard. And also 1 change of heart's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm 100% sold on the bounty postings plus the other bounties, but I guess it would make sense. like, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I resource top target more sometimes than I play it sometimes, because a lot of people are using the like running confiscates or fang fighters now because of the fact that they're getting rid of, need to get rid of dark sabers, and guess what it does to trench. Like this, like, oh, that was a waste of a resource. But I guess at least you could play it sometimes out of your discard, like it does let you, they should have fine edition here. Like that's probably more beneficial in this deck to have that fine edition.
An underrated card.
Yeah,
but especially when you have enticing reward, top target, frozen and carbonite, entrenched, and also in the sideboard perilous positions. I think a fine edition is definitely something to consider. You're running a hard control deck, you should probably be able to kill a unit so you can play a fine edition. Yeah, it's a nifty little card, especially in this kind of combo stuff. But no, I mean, it's good. It probably functions a little bit easier than Trench 1 because it has 6 cards in hand, and 2 because I didn't actively heals. So it's probably a little bit. It's definitely not nearly as difficult to play as Trench, but also, in the same vein, I like this deck. I should just play it because they're gonna look at me. They're like, "Oh, not running the Trench deck." I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah, I'm running almost the same, similar.
I'm so happy I got a Trench Showcase. I finally, someone finally got one in Michigan.
Hey, I got a Trench Showcase.
I know, it was a Spider-Man.
All right, let's move on. We got a Grand Admiral Thrawn Data Vault deck. Look at that. This one came in 23rd, so I wanted to consider this and actually talk about this. I'll be honest with you. This is actually this is probably up to my style, and I do wonder how well this does compared to the Kira Data Vault. Can Thrawn, does this have enough healing that this could just actually be better than dealing Kira? Obviously is super good because Kira has the ability to nuke something on her flip turn when you need it. Thrawn does not have that ability, but I don't know. So this is I don't have a Thrawn Showcase, but this is something I would be considering just because I love Thrawn
I got a lot. Thrawn Showcase.
Well, maybe we should trade. So this one is, you have 3 of, I don't know what those stupid
Desperate Commandos.
There you go. Yeah, they're weird commandos. They have the -1
when defeated. Yeah, you give something -1/-1.
Yep. 3 Krennics, 3 Pershings, 3 Infernals, 3 of the Onyx Squadron, 3 of Cobb Vanth, 3 of the landing shuttles, 3 of the super laser techs, 3 powers, 3 resupplies, 2 Lawn Pikes, which I like, 3 of the No Glory, No Guts, 3 of the Overwhelming Barrage, 3 Traitorous, which I think is greedy, but everybody loves this Traitorous all of a sudden.
Where were they in Side 1?
Yeah. 3 of the CR-90s, 3 of Thrawn Ship, 3 Mauls, 2 of the Snokes, 2 Super Laser Blasts, 3 Avenger, and 3 Devastator. In the side, you have 3 Palps Return, 3 of the Sentinel 7 cost interceptor ships, which
Fleet Interdectors.
I just love those. I would main deck those. I think I love those ships. I main deck much.
2 in my Thrawn deck.
Those are so amazingly good in Thrawn. 2 Relentless and 2 Annihilators if you ever have to go
it's longer. Fantastic sideboard. That is probably what I would do.
Yeah. This is to me. This I've played Kira for how long? This is a Healy version of Kira. This is if you took Kira and Iden and put them together, and then you get extra cards, which Tanner likes because I just love having all the extra cards to give me options. I'm a little surprised we don't have a Merciless Contest in there, but I guess I understand because you don't really want to kill your own units, but Merciless Contest would also allow you to kill something that you need to heal with, and then you could trigger the healing twice. So you could play Onyx Scoot Brajin. If they lane dodge you, you could just use your Merciless Contest, and guess what? You get to heal for 4. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like this. I think the landing shuttle might be a little. I don't know if you need 3 of those. I don't know if you need those either. That might be a little bit
more card draw, which is nice.
I guess.
Which is what I'm assuming is there for, right?
It just feels bad to play. I mean, I guess you could play it for 2 resources, right? And this just is where Merciless Contest would be so amazing, right? Where's my Merciless Contests in here? I could like do my dual draw. And once I do a dual draw, you're just done.
What would you do? Just replace the traitorous's straight up with Merciless Contest?
I really don't want to. Personally,
right, like, I don't know where you'd stick it in there.
I would probably drop that landing shuttle down to 2, and I might drop or cut the Lom Pikes, or I would move the Cobb Vanth around. There's no Chilsons in here either, which is just different. Usually we see some Chilsons.
I like the Cobb Vanth because at least you have like 15 targets for it now.
True, I guess.
And then you activate them twice, so you just dump 2 cards, and then it's like now you have 2 extra units out of nowhere, which is really cool.
Yeah, and you don't have Vaders in here either. That's the other thing. There's 0 Vaders in this deck, and I think that's probably the right call. I think we're finally to the point where we don't just have to run Vader blindly. Like Maul in this deck is just better, I think.
There's certain times where I'd run Vader, like in my Palpatine deck. I have TIE Daggers, right? So I can bring out Vader, swing with him first, and then pull out TIE Daggers and get the 7 attack reach I had with Maul. While still having a little bit of a bigger bot, I guess. But yeah, it's like, do you need to flood the board? Then play Vader. If you just need the straight up attack, which I think is what this deck wants, just play the Maul because you need to do something. I like this deck a lot, actually. It's very close to the Data Vault Trench that I built a while ago.
Data Vault Trench. You mean
or Thrawn, sorry.
Yep. Okay.
Too many TRs.
Yeah. I don't know, like this is actually like I kind of want to just get the reps in. This is kind of like on my radar of things that I would probably just play. And it's blue-green villains, so it's right up my alley.
Right.
I don't know. But I like it. I actually like this deck too.
I like my Annihilators though. I'd probably put that in the deck.
But those main deck.
Just run 62. What's the difference? Why not? Ray ran 62.
Well, if you put 62, then it leaves room for other things. I don't know. I don't know about those Lom Pikes though. Like I do wonder if you dump Lom Pike. Like I guess you can't really run Chilson in this deck. Chilson probably misses the cut. Yeah,
you're probably playing too many cards for Chilson to be worth it, right? Because this isn't really like this is like the soft control. Like this is like closer to like mid range with just a really really good end game kind of thing. Because you are like kind of trading for value. You're not really like I need you don't have like takedowns and fells and rivals, right? It's not your control's like I got some power of the dark sides and no glory and an overwhelming barrage.
Yeah, that is true. That is like well, you have
so
yeah.
That's how I view it. It's just like more of a later end game mid range deck.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't played this, so I could be wrong. This is what kind of my initial feelings of it is.
I feel like I'm going to have to try this. Is what I feel like it's going to have to be because it's Thrawn. So
I'll have to bring out my Data Vault. Thrawn actually put it together in earnest.
All right, the last deck we're going to cover. We're only covering it because it's the Spider-Man, and because he made 69th. So like kudos to him. This is definitely not the style of.
This is not what I want to do with my trench.
Yeah, this is like a very like underworld friendly trench deck, but I don't know, Alex. Why don't you go over it? Let's talk about it a little bit.
Nepotism at its finest. It's a trench deck that made 69th, so we have to do it.
Yeah.
Data Vault Trench, which I considered for a while before I ended up at Colossus. I couldn't really figure out anything that I particularly wanted to do. So this starts off with triple McClunky, only 1 restock, triple Hotshot Blaster, triple Bazine, triple Bib Fortuna, triple Cartel Spacer, 1 Crafty Smuggler, triple No Good to Me, triple In Debt with the Crimson Dawn, which I think is a cool card, but you can't like rely on it. Triple of the 3-cost Boba Fett, triple Contracted Jumpmaster, 1 Super Laser Tech, triple now there are 2 of them, triple Resupply, triple Frozen Carbonite, triple the Gamorrean Guards, double Bosk, the ambush one, triple Overwhelming Barrage, 1 Bounty Hunter Crew, triple Palp's Return, triple Cad, triple Ball, 1 Relentless, and double Devastator. In the side, you have double confiscate, one surprise strike, double the Igor escort fighters. That's the 4-1 ambush space unit. A second super laser tech, double evacuate, a Fennec, and the third devastator.
It's
a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, like obviously, so they're running the Palps return so that way they can discard their bigger units early, and then just pull them.
Palps return is one of the main reasons why I'm just like considering a green trench tech, because pitch them all, draw a card, play them all for cheaper.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I like the deck to some extent. I do not like some of the weird one-offs. I actually would never run the indebted. I don't think I would run that. Why? I don't know. I guess it makes sense. It's like an early stall tactic, but like now there are two of them. Like that just feels greedy. Like I get why they're running that, but in this deck it feels very, very greedy.
There's a lot of underworld units. Like most of them are underworld, right? I think the only one that's not underworld is like your Star Destroyers and the one-off super laser attack for some reason.
Yeah, I don't.
But yeah, I mean they made 69th, which is better than at least 750 other people, right? Depending on how much over 800 it is. And like the Bib Fortuna is kind of cute because you can like now there's two of them for a little bit cheaper and hit a little bit higher. And you got the really cool McClunky Bounty Hunter's Crew kind of loop where you just like Bounty Hunter's Crew, grab the McClunky from your discard pile, play the McClunky, put the Bounty Hunter's Crew back in hand, do it again, kind of thing. Oh man, I would just like, because I'm trench, I would just go all in on the I've Palps return, triple salvage, run some spaceships, put more than one restock in there. Probably not run the Hot Shot Blasters, which feels kind of weird, but like your ground presence isn't super needed. I don't know. The one-off super laser attack is baffling to me. I've never seen I've never seen anyone just run one.
Yeah.
And there's no way to self-kill it either, which is a little bit weird and one crafty. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I gotta loop back around and see if there's anything I want to do with a Dataval Trench deck.
Yeah, and there's no Forloms either. Like you think Forlom would probably be something that would make sense in this deck very easily because like you can now there are two of them and like bring Forlom out and be able to play like a couple of different cards. So I don't know. Like I think that there's something to Trench Datavault too. Like this is like I was on more of a swarm ship where we had like swarming vulture droids and we're playing the invisible hand or whatever it is, whatever the yellow invisible ship is that comes out on 5 with Trench and
Invincible. Yeah. His ship.
Yep. His ship. And so like we were on more of that, like, I don't think that was probably correct. But like some of this makes sense. Like it makes sense. I like there's no Architons in here either, right? Like Architon seems like that would be a good thing, to be able to pitch early on, and there's no reinforcement walkers. Like reinforcement walker, you would think would just be kind of like a staple in this deck, but this is a very this has a lot of low to the ground units. So I don't know. I think if you want the Bounty Hunter package and you want to be able to use the McClunky, then great. That's what this is for. But if you want to go maybe we'll do a deck tech on Trench Datavault. How about that? Maybe we'll do a Trench Datavault.
Oh, we gotta make one and actually play it. That was decent.
Yeah. So
we could do a couple extra deck techs on some stuff that we've been brewing up. Like I want to do one on that security complex, right? Because that's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so send me your breakdown. We get that this week. I don't have a lot going on this week, so it'll be fun. All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to wrap up the episode tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will be back next week with a new episode, probably covering a few more PQ stuff. Hopefully, we'll get a couple of deck techs in, and we're trying to get our games back on the webcam again. We just have been very lackadaisical scheduling stuff.
Been busy, and then JJ's sick, right? And I've been busy with these locals, and it's been life. So We'll get to it soon. I still want to do the Rondell disappointment eventually. We'll see.
So, all right. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the Flippity Flop.
Thanks for listening.